I'm Jacob.
I'm Yuri.
And we're going for a drive.
'20 Ford Explorer.
ST without launch control brake boost. Damn, she moves.
Horsepower and torque.
400 horsepower, 415 pound-feet of torque from a twin-turbo 3-liter V6.
Okay, floor it again.
That's pretty good, dude.
And surprisingly enough, I don't actually mind this pumped-in engine sound.
It's not bad. It definitely simulates like V8-ish.
It sounds better than the Edge ST did. Let's put it into normal mode and also try to floor it.
Kind of sounds the same.
Yeah, okay, let me try Eco. They can't have it on in Eco mode.
No, it sounds the same in almost every mode. A little bit quieter.
Okay, well, I can't toggle through it like I did in the Edge ST, which sounded disgusting. Let's cut to that clip. And the next big thing that we should talk about is this a real ST?
I'm straight off the bat gonna say yes, it is, Yuri.
Okay, why is this a real ST and why was the Edge ST not an ST?
There's many different reasons, and it's just a general sense and feel when you get into the car and first drive it. This has performance and handling and all that kind of stuff. You can actually feel a big difference between the Edge ST and this. This just feels like it was developed from the ground up to be an ST, whereas the Edge was tacked on as an ST to sell cars.
Yeah, seeing this car drive around in front of me, it was flying away. It looked aggressive. It looked like some total hole was driving it, and I think that's the kind of person who should be driving an ST. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean, because I really like this. I am one of those holes, apparently.
We're gonna blur out that word,
Yeah,
but.
yeah.
And the next thing was, in the Edge ST, we didn't like the paddles because there was weird gearing, but in this...
Totally fine. We have a 10-speed auto, which is totally different, so I'm gonna downshift. Listen to that. It's decently quick. Upshift. It actually does it when you want it to, which is really good.
Good job, Team ST.
Yeah, and the paddles are kind of plasticky, so that part kind of sucks. But the actual feel of the transmission.
It's not an RS.
I know.
Not that RS has paddles anyway.
Yeah, the RS being the Focus RS, which we haven't done a proper review on, only during our triple comparison that one time.
Yeah, and they only come in manual, so there wouldn't be paddles.
Yes, and the car is now dead, so...
So if anybody has a Focus RS with a drift stick, we would love to test it out because we weren't popular enough when that came out.
Yes.
With our measly 100,000 subscribers. Pathetic.
So weak. And back to comparing this to the Edge ST, I really didn't like how that handled. This is all-wheel drive as well, but it's rear biased and you can see it through the gauges, and it does feel like that. If you turn off the traction, you kind of can get the back end a little bit out, but it's pretty composed. So I'm actually going to send it through Cliche Corner right now to show you that. It feels pretty good. The turn-in's good. The steering feels good. It's got just the right amount of power. There is some body roll, but this is the ST-specific Sport tuned suspension, and I haven't driven the regular one, but this feels really good.
Okay, this is a 3-row SUV.
Yes, it is.
So handling good for a 3-row SUV, you know, that's a different level than like...
Yeah, that's usually reserved for like the German SUVs.
Yeah, so they did a good job. And I don't want to completely poop all over the Edge ST. That thing was still very fast in automatic.
Going in a straight line, yes, but I will poo-poo on everything else about that car. And I poo-pooed severely on the driving position in that. This is great. I don't feel like I'm on top of it. This is just like right where I should be.
Hey, save that for the interior parts.
Sorry.
Should we get to the looks?
Yeah, okay, let's start with that. I think it looks really good.
It looks like a cop car, which I don't like.
Yes, we have this rich copper color, which is an option, and I like that they named it rich so that you can tell people that you are not poor.
I think it's a different rich, but the color in there, it pops out under certain lightings. Under a lot of lightings, it's hidden to the point where it looks like a dark police vehicle. Like, it scared us, and we knew where we parked it.
Yeah, we're like, oh no, oh wait, that's our car.
Yeah, so it's got that badass factor.
Yes, and it looks like kind of a maroony brown when the light doesn't hit it right.
Caramel bars. So the headlights, they are lines that go across, really cool DRLs, but the whole front of it looks kind of sad.
Yeah, I can see that, but it also at the same time looks a little aggressive. It's like this sad, depressed, aggressive kind of looking look.
Okay, and then we got the ST badge in the grill. The grill is real, but there is a plastic panel behind it. So it is full real grill as far as I'm concerned up there.
And one thing that I noticed that was very weird, but also very cool, is the fog lights, when they're off, they kind of look like mountain peaks or something like that.
The spiky flames.
Yeah, super cool.
I don't know how that's happened. Weird reflections.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the side view. The body lines are pretty good. They're very smooth. But in this color, again, that's where it makes it really hard to see. And we had to shoot this car in the rain, and then it got sunny later, so you could see the differences of how the car looks according to the lighting.
Yes, and we actually did opt for this color because everyone's already driven this in blue and red like a year ago, so we felt it was a little different to get it in this rich copper color.
Bring on the challenge of making this paint look good. Did you know, well, you do know, you guys may not know, taking photos of cars, you're pretty much taking photos of mirrors.
Pretty much.
Have you ever tried to take a photo of a mirror and sell it online? That's us filming cars all day, every day.
I remember seeing pictures of people taking pictures of toasters and stuff, and you can see they're everything.
Yeah, you see that they're naked taking a photo of it?
Yeah.
That's cars.
And my favorite part of the overall side profile are these wheels. These 21-inch wheels are awesome.
Yeah, I generally hate dark wheels, but they look really good on this for some reason.
Yeah, like they're not specially designed or anything like that, but they just look good.
And then what would be the Continental recommended tire for the Explorer ST?
The Cross Contact LX Sport.
And how about the winter tire?
The Winter Contact SI.
And you should probably get ready to put your winter tires on soon because the 2nd November first hits, one single snowfall and you won't be able to get anywhere.
Yo, if I'm ever stuck behind you somewhere because you didn't put your winter tires on, I'm gonna be really upset with you.
I'm gonna unsubscribe from you. I'm gonna unsubscribe you from me.
Yeah.
But one thing I don't like about these wheels is the brakes behind the wheels. They're not drilled, they're not slotted.
Holy, this guy wants like carbon ceramic brakes on this?
I don't want it. I just like the looks of it because we've driven so many cool cars when the brakes look so awesome, and this just kind of looks like, eh.
Yeah, well, at least you do get red calipers on the ST, so that's cool.
The red calipers are cool, but like when I don't see holes, I'm like, okay, well, this doesn't really need to stop, so it can't be that fast.
But it does stop quite well, so I've got no issues with the brakes.
Oh, yeah.
I know you're talking about the looks.
Hit me with it.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's still fine. Okay, then we have plastic fender flares over it because, you know, SUV.
That's right. It's still off-roady capable.
And it is all blacked out.
Yeah, and we have got tinted windows. It's just a really good look from the side.
Cop car spec.
Yeah.
Okay, from the back and kind of like looking down the body line, it does look a lot more wide body on the fenders on this than like a normal SUV would.
And we also have really good taillights, just nice and clean and simple.
And up on the front, we do have Explorer written on the hood in black. It's hard to see, but it is a cool touch.
Just like a Range Rover and a Telluride.
The rest of the back end looks pretty nice. We've got a little bit of a spoiler up there, but there is one gigantic flaw.
Yeah, the exhaust tips, they are totally fake, as they were on the Aviator.
Yeah, they're the ones that point down so you don't get your tips dirty or whatever. It's so stupid. And when the car starts driving, like you see steam go at the bottom, like,
yeah.
I get it, but it's also the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's such a fail, especially on the ST. Like, they could have given the ST real friggin' pipes.
Okay, and if you're an engineer or a designer of cars and we complain about something and you're like, I have an answer for that, I want to tell you, hit me up on LinkedIn, Yuri Tershin. That's the professional way.
That's right.
And if you're a fan who wants help on buying cars or wants to show me a Prowler picture, Instagram.
And don't hit me up with any of those requests because I don't care.
Just tag Jacob in stories on the Straight Pipes. So overall, looks-wise, this does look pretty good. Partly probably because it is a police car.
Yeah, I guess so.
Does this look better than the Durango SRT? Because I feel like that's the only competition for this as a fast 3-row.
I don't think so. I think the Durango SRT just looked really, really good. But this is like, I don't know, it's kind of tied for me, honestly.
You know the Durango can have a V8.
I know.
So
there's a Hellcat version now.
So knowing that it has that makes it automatically more badass.
Yes, it does. But I'm just going looks. This is a really good looking SUV and I like it a lot. So now I'd like to talk about tech, Yuri. I know that's usually your thing, but I have a lot of issues in this vehicle.
Yeah, when Jacob wants to talk about tech, you know it's bad.
So let's start with these gauges. First of all, the animations are fantastic. Second of all, the animations are the worst because of the lag.
Okay, all of the graphics are good. The way everything looks is good.
Like really, really good.
Going through the animations is nice. It's pretty smooth sometimes, but everything takes so long to transition to the point where it's like, you guys need to shorten this down by 50%. And even changing through the drive modes is so laggy. Like moving this knob, it takes forever to show stuff. Pretty good attempt, poor execution, but also decent execution.
Yeah, because the actual RPMs are also laggy as well. So if I floor it, it's kind of got this like laggy transition. If I, like, it doesn't line up.
Yeah, the tack isn't as fluid as I'd like it to be. Maybe it is perfectly smooth, but I feel like there's something that needs to happen to make it smoother.
Next tech issue is this actual infotainment. Sure, it looks kind of cool, but the tablet design has a lot of inherent flaws because of the things that are on the screen when you have a tablet design.
Okay, yeah, it is pretty cool. It is in your field of view, but when you have your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto up there, it's so small. Like you've got this gigantic screen, and if it was sideways, you'd have the best Apple CarPlay, Android Auto.
Exactly. It would be massive, high res, and it would look amazing. But we have this, so this is what we have to deal with. And we also run into that same issue when you have the reverse camera on, because yes, we have 360 camera, which is awesome, but then only your parking sensor stuff shows up on the bottom. So you have these pretty good cameras, but you can't see anything.
Yeah, the reverse camera size would actually be able to fit in the rearview mirror, just like on your Ford Raptor. Like, that's how
essentially
poor they planned it. Like, I can graphic design this to make it work. They should have done it this way, but for some reason, I guess they just couldn't.
Next issue, we do have Sirius XM satellite radio, but going through the stations with the tuning knob is unbearably laggy.
Yeah, it's nice that we have a tuning knob, but when you turn it, it changes the whole screen instead of just like changing what's in the middle. It doesn't make any sense.
No,
like,
it takes forever.
like,
if you do like minor adjustments, it's fine, but if you want to go like more than 5 stations, you're screwed.
but like, why is it switching screens? Like, why isn't this just going left and right instead?
Exactly.
Okay, and then the thing that I hate, it does have a rewinding satellite radio station, which I totally love. It's the best feature ever. But you have to click a button to get to the rewinding screen. But you have so much real estate vertically, it should have that built in the whole time. Like, I shouldn't need to click an extra button to get to the rewinding.
And I usually don't care about that stuff, but I totally agree with you here. I see no reason for that not to be on that screen.
LinkedIn, I'm ready.
And that's pretty much all my issues with tech in this car, actually, because I really like the rest of this car.
Okay, so I guess my turn to drive?
Yes.
Gonna start with a little bit of cliche corner. And nothing really weird. A little bit of tire squealing, but it pulls you through just fine.
But it feels very rear biased. It's nice.
It's definitely like closer to German stuff.
Yeah.
And now we'll do the launch.
Ooh, good brakes, Yuri.
Cooler if they were drilled. Nice and fast. Like, off a light, you would definitely smoke a lot of people.
Yeah, this picks up good. And if this is the first video that you're watching of ours, consider subscribing if you like it.
And if this is the first video of us that you're watching so far, what took you so long to find us?
And if you don't like it, also consider subscribing.
Now for some of the tech that I really like. This does have adaptive cruise and lane keep. It has the lane centering, which is awesome. You need to turn that on by pushing this little steering wheel in the lanes right here on the wheel.
And I feel like it's exactly the same as the Lincoln Aviator because that's what this SUV is.
Yeah, and like, I really like the lane keep stuff in the Edge ST. These guys kill it. If you're looking for that for like a crappy commute, this would be a good car for you.
And there's actually a lot of things that we're about to get to where this does better than the Lincoln Aviator.
You mean like these seats?
Yes.
Okay, so they are very adjustable, and then when we click our lumbar button, we're gonna get some messages on the screen. But unlike the Aviator and all the other Lincolns, where they give you like a 30,000 options to change and you can never get comfortable, you're always comfortable here, and then you just have that fine-tuned adjustment.
And we also have massage seats in here, which I did not expect, so that was a pleasant surprise. And while we're talking about these seats, I'm actually really uncomfortable on the passenger side for some reason, but I was really comfortable on the driver's side.
Yeah, I don't know why. But also, when I got into this car, the headrest was tilted a little bit forward, but lucky for us,
Ooh.
all you have to do is tilt it more forward, and it flips all the way back. So then how about the seats in the middle row?
They're actually really comfortable. I can fit behind myself at 6'4.5", no problem.
And then how about the third row?
I'm actually decently comfortable, but not as comfortable as like a real 3-row SUV. And we also have peasant blockers in the second row, which is amazing for blocking out peasants.
And baby sheds.
That's right.
And then the third row at 5'8.5" it's totally fine in the back row for a small trip. Like in an Uber, it would be perfect. On a long trip, it's like, come on, just get a minivan.
What if we had to put some boxes in here? Box test!
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 is the 718 Spider is amazing, and we were wrong box. 13, 14, 15,
16 and 17.
Get your own box on patreon.com/TheStraightPipes. So that's a surprising amount of boxes, like very surprised.
Yeah, really good job, Explorer.
And then we can fold the seats down and all that stuff from the very back. And with the seats all the way up, we do have enough room for 2 carry-on bags side by side.
Which is very appropriate for this type of vehicle.
That's like the minimal requirement.
Exactly. And all the materials around me up front feel really good and look really cool. There is some plastic here and there, but I don't mind it. And this black kind of textured, not carbon fiber, not gloss black material is amazing.
Cyber snakeskin.
I really like it.
Is what I'm calling it.
And there is some like build quality stuff going on with the center console, so I'm not sure what's going on around there, but the gaps are totally different.
Okay, the holes on the speakers, they all look really cool.
Bang & Olufsen.
We've got a wireless charger down here, and what's cool is when you plug it in too, you can have your phone out and there's a little pass-through for a cable. So many cars, you try to put a cable through there and it gets stuck.
Yeah, and you end up like jamming the door or something.
Exactly.
And what about these cup holders?
Fits a small cup and a medium cup just fine.
And what about our drive mode selector?
I thought you were gonna do visors.
Oh yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Yes, full pass. Okay, now that drive mode selector.
I mean, it's fine.
It is fine.
Everything's just like slow through it.
But I have put myself into neutral once thinking I was adjusting the drive mode, so a little weird.
And then we do have our parking assist and our hill descent assist, as well as our traction control down there too. And with this armrest, it's a perfect position for me to have my elbows on both armrests and touching the wheel while driving.
And the wheel quality is actually really nice.
It feels very good. But the button layout is a little weird and cluttered. I feel like it's just kind of tricky to figure out.
And it is D-shaped because this is a friggin' race car.
S2!
But it is heated, which is nice, and we also have heated and cooled seats, which is awesome.
Oh, and then one of the complaints that I had in the GM vehicles, that they've got a front camera, but you have to go through the infotainment to click it. We do have a hard camera button in here. Door handles. I don't like these because you got to like put your finger in to pull them.
Oh, come on, I love these.
I just like door handles where you kind of grab from the top and then pull.
Okay, so that's a preference thing. These aren't actually bad door handles because I like these.
So that's pretty much it with the Explorer ST. I think we should get to the price.
We definitely should. This one is $64,599.
Canadian.
Which I think is a pretty damn good price.
Yeah, this is a very fast 3-row SUV, probably the second fastest one.
Yeah, and I think this does a lot of things that the Lincoln Aviator already does, but it does them at a cheaper price, and I think this looks cooler. So I actually prefer this to the Lincoln Aviator, even though that one also had air suspension. It did have a better ride, but I like the Sport Tune suspension.
I like everything more about the Aviator, but I also don't like this as a fast SUV. I would go Durango because I want more V8.
Yeah, I get that too. I like my V8s.
So if we're looking at the competition that wasn't fast, there'd be like the Palisade, the Telluride.
The Subaru Ascent.
And then for GM, it's like the Acadia.
Which we haven't driven yet.
And the Traverse, which we also haven't driven.
Yeah, we haven't driven a bunch of other cars. But from the ones we've driven, we really like the Telluride and the Palisade.
Okay, would you rather have this Explorer ST, it being fast, or a slow Palisade Telluride?
I would kind of prefer to have a slower Telluride Palisade just because they do a lot of other things better, and I think they look really good. Because if I'm gonna get an SUV, I don't necessarily want a super fast one unless it's like stupid fast.
Yeah, like
which this isn't. But I still really like this.
I would probably go Telluride because I love the DRLs. I love the infotainment more. The lane keep is better, even though this is very good.
Yeah, if you have use for a faster SUV, I would highly recommend this because this is one of my favorite fast-ish SUVs for sure.
So let us know what you think of the Explorer ST. Do you want them all off the roads so that you know where the cops are?
And watch some of these other videos of some other SUVs because yeah, it's SUV season, baby.
Which SUV would you like the most?